Hello everyone. So it's discussion time and it's no gray areas with Sazi. Okay, the other day I came up with a question from somebody. I told us about a lady that came up with a question, and the question was actually with regards to a landed property. So it went like this. When I was single, I got myself a property, a landed property, and couple of years went by and I got married. Now I'm married and my husband is demanding that I change the name on the documents of the property into his name. What do I do as a married lady? So that is a question that was sent to Sazi. I'm back here to actually share my own opinion on this same issue. So now, it is very important for a woman to be submissive to her husband. It is very important. The Bible is my standard, and that's exactly where I'm drawing my strength from. And of course, from the aspect of the law, I'm also going to explain to you what the respectable lawyer talked about. So now, let's focus on my own opinion. I'm a sucker for submission, not because I'm the lady goody two shoes. No, that's not the reason why. I've tested the other side of being stubborn. I've also tested this other side of being submissive. And I think it is very brave and important for a woman to be submissive to her husband. That being said, I want you to also don't take me out of context. There is a thin line between submission and stupidity. I'm not saying that a woman should be stupid. I'm saying a woman should be submissive. This is what I'm going to do if I find myself in that situation. I would rather co-own the property with my husband. So, for instance, a lady bought a property when she was single, and the property bore the name Miss 𝘾𝙃𝘼𝙉𝙂𝙀. Now, for peace to reign, she can go ahead and they co-own the property, and it's now going to be Mr. 𝘾𝙃𝘼𝙉𝙂 and Mrs. 𝘾𝙃𝙼𝙉𝙂𝙀. So both of them can co-own the property just for peace to reign. But it's a no-no for me that a woman will solely give the property to the man for the man to have his name alone on the property. No, that is not the way to go. It's important to co-own just for peace to reign. That is submission. It's not like you're being stupid at that moment, but that's submission. And for crying out loud, imagine that the man had a property when he was single, and now he's married to the lady. What do you expect him to do? What if the man also wants to co-own his property with his wife? Is it a bad idea? It's not a bad idea. So if a woman will be happy to have a husband co-own a property he bought when he was single with her, there is nothing wrong in the man being excited in co-owning a property the wife bought when she was single. There is absolutely nothing with that, nothing wrong with that. But the place where I find it a bit is demanding for it. Hey man, listen up. You are not supposed to be interested in that property. As a man, you shouldn't show that high level of interest to the point where you begin to demand for it. No man. No man, that's a low blow for you. That's just a low blow. So please, it is important that we can co-own for peace to reign. But don't give out what is yours to somebody that is demanding for it. Be it a wife or a husband. It's important for us to share what we have. In marriage, your property is my property. My property is your property. Everything in marriage belongs to both parties, not just one person. But please, wisdom is profitable to direct. That is my view on this issue. I will come back again and share the view of the lawyer on this same issue. Thank you guys. Love you. Bye. Hello everyone, I'm back again. All right, so it's no gray areas with Sazi. I told you that I was going to come back and talk to you about the lawyer's perspective. Now, this lawyer that I'm talking about is he's not just a lawyer. He's a pastor. So it means he's a born-again Christian, and like he's a born-again Christian. Okay, and he's a husband, a good husband, and he is a political enthusiast. So now you can see that he is well grounded to talk about this issue. Now, when I told him about the matter arising, he was wowed. his first response was, no, there's a red flag somewhere. There is a red flag somewhere. That the man is not supposed to demand for that property. As a matter of fact, he's not even supposed to show any kind of interest in the wife's property that she acquired when she was single. Now, for peace to reign, and of course, the submission part of the whole story I talked about, as a wife, it's important for one to submit. He said, when we talk about submission, then we can meet at the center. What the woman should rather do is for her and her husband to co-own the property, not for them to joint own the property. Now, there's a difference between co-owners and joint owners. Now, because of time, I may not be able to explain what being a co-owner and what being a joint owner is all about. I'm sure that some of us here have lawyer friends, so we can call them up and have them enlighten us or educate us about being a co-owner of a property or anything, and being a joint owner of a property as well. Now, he also suggested that another way they can go about it is for the man to be a trustee of the land. That it's okay for the man to be a trustee. If he doesn't have anything to hide, it's okay for him to be a trustee. In what way? For instance, they can put the property in the name of their children, maybe their first child or something, and put a lien on that land. The lien is going to state that this property is not going to be touched until this child is 18 and above to make his decision whether to sell or use the landed property. Now, the man being a trustee, he can also give a go-ahead. A trustee must endorse before the land is being sold or used. So he can be a trustee instead of really making him a co-owner. He can be a trustee. That is another way they can go about it. He also pointed another area, and the area he pointed was they can also change the name from the woman's name to their child's name or their children's name. It is still safe that way. It is still okay that way. If he doesn't have anything to hide, he will not be perturbed, he will not be bothered about them changing the name of that document into their children's name or their child's name, if he doesn't have anything to hide. But if there are no children in the union, it is okay for them to co-own the property. And then he concluded by saying, but come on, what is the essence of all this? Is it necessary for a man to put pressure, to demand for his wife to transfer what she bought when she was single to him? That he doesn't see it as necessary. It's not important. That he can even, as a matter of fact, he told me that it's even okay for a man to buy few properties in the wife's name. They can have some properties in both of their names, and it is also not bad for the man to buy certain properties in just the wife's name. It is also, there's nothing wrong in you buying a property for your wife. There's nothing wrong with that. But for everybody to play safe and act safe and do the right thing so that there is peace, it is better for everybody to buy the property in both of their names. Mr. 𝘾𝙃𝘼𝙉𝙂 and Mrs. Ifeoma 𝘾𝙃𝘼𝙉𝙂. It is safer that way when getting a property. It is better that way. Everything that has to do with raising of eyebrows and people coming to try to change the documents and all that is really not going to happen. It's really hard to change a document like that. That was his stand on it, and I trust him. Thank you all. I appreciate you for listening. You can go ahead and call me if you're not cleared on this, and I'm sure I will throw more light on it. God bless you. It is keeping it real and no gray areas with Sazi. Sazi got you covered, you know. Thank you and bye.